There's a common misconception about Asta and Black Clover. That is that since he has a 5-leaf Clover Grimoire of anti-magic and wielding swords imbued by said anti-magic, that Asta is now only useful against magic, or rather only strong against magic users. Whenever a versus battle is brought up with Asta involved, people immediately say Asta loses since he is fighting someone like Deku, who uses a quirk but not magic, therefore swords won't counter it. But the thing is that, yeah, Asta does have a strength against magic due to having anti-magic swords, but this does not mean that Asta is weak to non-magic users. Asta has beyond superhuman levels of physical strength, speed, and durability. I'll be going over many of these feats in this video to prove that despite Asta wielding anti-magic, he could still completely destroy many characters from other universes who don't use magic at all. The first thing we can discuss is speed. This is because this is the easiest thing to prove here. Asta is extremely fast even in his base form. This is proved from the very beginning of the series, from when he fought Seke in the exam and he blitzed him. And Captain William Vontress thought that Asta was using a high speed movement spell to move, but it was just his physical strength and physical speed. Thus proving that with pure physical abilities alone, Asta surpassed many mages who use magic to amp their abilities. Now Asta gets progressively faster over the course of the series, but we don't really need to talk about some of those feats because his later feats are the things we really need to talk about because that's how strong he is later in the series, which is what we're talking about. So a lot of the lesser feats we'll just completely ignore just to save time for the video. This is from the fight of Mereoleona versus Raya. Raya uses copy magic and used light magic and amplifies it to bring up to his own level. Now, Patri was light speed with his light magic and could even move faster than light when amping himself. Raya, while suppressed in base form, was stated to be on a whole other level above Patri, and was stated to be far stronger by the narrator. Raya is not only going at 100% in this, but activated his third eye, which makes him even stronger and fast. So all these light attacks are at least moving several times the speed of light, heading towards Mereoleona. They are right in front of her, and she hasn't even cocked her arm back for a punch yet. But by the time she's actually punched and countered all of these attacks, they had barely moved any further. This feat from Mereoleona has been calced to be in the FTL plus tier of speed, or 95 times the speed of light. This is important because just chapters later, Asta blitzes past these attacks from Mereoleona. We can clearly see that Mirio has launched her attack in these panels, and Asta is standing behind her, having not moved at all yet. Then, Asta blitzes past the attacks and hits Raya with his sword before Mirio's attacks hit him. I have personally calculated this to be well over 1,000 times the speed of light for Asta, putting him in the massively faster than light plus tier. Remember, this is base Asta, with no anti-magic amping him. Black Asta would be many times faster than that, and his amp black form would be even faster than that. Now, I've seen people try and discredit this feat by saying that Asta knew what Raya was going to do, that he was going to self-destruct, and Asta used his ki to sense it. That is true, but that doesn't mean that Asta didn't move faster than her attacks. If she attacked before Asta moved, and Asta was standing behind her, it would be literally impossible for Asta to hit Raya before her attacks hit if he did not move faster than them. Even Raya is impressed by what Asta did, and is even saying that he moved faster than her attack. So people trying to discredit this feat, honestly, you're just... Speed is very important when it comes to fighting in versus battles. Asta doesn't really lose his speed if he was fighting a non-magic user. The only thing he would really lose would be his automatic homing, which is only in his black form, since it can boost his speed when it detects large mana. But still, he is massively faster than light plus in his base form, and even faster in his black forms. Now Asta's reaction speed would be well higher due to ki. Ki is basically a sixth sense precognition. One pretty cool feat with his ki is him parrying attacks that were faster than light, and Asta's eyes were closed. So now that Asta's impressive speed is proved, let's talk about durability. One thing is important to note that any attack that Asta survives in his base form is purely his own physical durability, which means if he survived a magic-based city level attack in base form, he would also be able to survive a city level attack based in other forms of energy like ki or chakra, or even just pure physical power as well. Now there are plenty of feats throughout the series when it comes to durability for Asta, like surviving spikes of Heath's ice magic. These spikes would likely kill mostly lower level magic knights, which are still superhuman in nature, but Asta's strong muscles and skin protect him from the stabbing. Against Mars, Asta is knocked back so hard that he breaks a magically reinforced stone wall. Breaking through a stone wall like that would be superhuman durability anyways, but the fact that it was magically reinforced too is even more impressive, despite it being unquantifiable. Although I haven't shown Asta's own attack potency yet, this will act as a durability feat later on when I scale that. Asta tries to cut off his own arm with a Demon Dweller sword, but his arm was so durable that it couldn't even come close to cutting. An often overlooked scene is when Raya uses his copy magic to pretend to be Asta, as to which Mereoleona launches her fire at the both of them. In the aftermath of that, Asta remains unscathed, while Raya has to heal himself and then activates his third eye. This proves that Asta's physical durability is more durable than base Raya, who is a high-level mage in Black Clover. He's a member of the Third Eye, who is stronger than Magic Knight captains. But what is pretty much one of the most impressive durability feats for Asta is the fact that he could survive an attack by Spirit Ladros. Ladros absorbed the power of the spirit, thus surpassing it. In the guidebook, the spirit is said to be strong enough to vaporize a sea with its talons, which is calced to be a country-level attack. Spirit Ladros would be above that, and Asta survived an attack from Spirit Ladros. This puts Asta's durability at incredibly high. Remember, he survived this attack in base form. He gets even more durable throughout the series after that, and if he uses black forms, it would also increase his durability, since his black form amps his physical stats. Now when it comes to attack potency, people always try to downplay Asta, since his attacks are anti-magic based, going against magic based attacks. Thus, he isn't really having any attack potency to hurt them, he's just negging or canceling them out because it's anti-magic. It is partially true, but it isn't that true, as Asta had purely physical based attacks that are very strong. In the cave arc, Asta outsmarted Voltos, dropping his swords and jumping through one of his portals. Asta then comes out and punches Voltos, basically rendering him unconscious. Voltos is stronger than most Magic Knights, since he has a 4-5 in magic amount and a 4-5 in magic control, and actively partakes in battles. Against Vetto, Asta smacked him so hard against the ground it left a crater in the ground and a miniature explosion. It's important to note that this was the aftermath of the hit. Logically, Vetto is the one who shouldered the brunt of the attack, so this was just a small percentage of the damage that Asta can physically deal out. Later on against Raya, after blitzing past Mereoleona, Asta punches Third Eye Raya, knocking him back and damaging him. Since Third Eye Raya scales well above Patri, this likely shows that Asta's pure physical attack potency surpasses that of Yami from the cave arc, as in Asta's pure physical stats surpass Yami's physical stats paired with his dark magic. Now the Devil does add some impressive scaling for Asta's physical strength. The Devil can use his word magic to create both magical and physical attacks. Storm of Swords is an attack that shoots out both magical and real physical swords. Yuno is forced to dodge these attacks, while Asta dodges plus parries. This basically means that these swords are strong enough to damage Yuno and other characters, yet Asta can parry them. Remember, they are physical swords, and Asta is parrying them. Physical swords that could damage Yuno and other high-level characters. This means that Asta scales to physical attack potency that could damage Yuno and many other characters. The Devil could also use his physical magic to bind Licht. Remember, this is showing how strong the physical objects can be that the Devil can spawn in. He can bind Licht, the elf chieftain. Yeah, he wasn't fully awake at his full power, but still, he completely binded him down and he couldn't do anything. Asta can counter and destroy said objects. Even the Devil's strongest object, the reality warping trident, it is a physical object. It countered and cancels Lumiere's spell and then cuts his arm off. Asta with Black Divider was able to break this trident. Remember, this is a physical weapon that is beyond any of the previous physical abilities the Devil had used, and Asta breaks it. It's not magical, because the Devil can create physical things, and if it was magical, the first swing of his anti-magic sword would have destroyed it. But he used the Black Divider to make his anti-magic stronger, make him stronger, make it sharper, and then he destroyed the physical trident. So here's an example. Replace Yuno with an equivalent warrior who uses Ki or Chakra from Dragon Ball or Naruto. This person is just as strong as Yuno in every single way. This said physical sword from the Devil could damage him. Asta can parry and overpower those swords or those physical attacks. Meaning if he can do that, he can still physically damage the Ki or Chakra user, despite using anti-magic. So, that proves Asta's physical attacks can still damage people who don't use magic, because he was going against physical attacks, not magic. Also, while Asta can simply cut through pretty much any magical attack, him deflecting it back at his opponents is tied to his attack potency. Asta has to be strong enough to revert magical attacks. This is proven when Asta could not revert back the Ray of Divine Punishment from Patri in the cave, but could reflect the Elemental Quintet combo of 5 elves later on, that was also multiplied to be 4 times stronger. It is proven when he goes against Dark Elf Patri's Ray of Divine Punishment as well. He struggled to reflect it back and needed Yuno's help, which proves he does need to be strong enough to reflect magical attacks, because if he didn't need to be strong enough, he wouldn't have needed Yuno's help to reflect it back. And also, like I said, if he didn't need to be strong enough, he could have reflected Ray of Divine Punishment from the cave like nothing. So it proves that he needs to be strong enough to deflect things back, so that proves that he is strong physically. So, like I said, he has survived country level attacks and just for durability. He's massively faster than light, he's thousands of times faster than light, and his attacks can be easily scaled to country level as well, if not beyond. So, saying that Asta is only strong against magic has been thoroughly debunked. He can fight non-magic users, and like I said in a previous video, yes, Asta would solo all of Class 1A, Asta would defeat All Might, and in my opinion, Asta would also probably defeat Prime All Might, since we can only scale him to a certain level of power. Other verses who don't use magic, if Asta could still hurt them, just as long as their durability is weak enough. So, Asta is not weak physically, he's very strong. He has anti-magic as a hacks ability against magic, but still, he's not only strong against magic. That is just the strongest thing he is against. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Please leave a like if you enjoy, comment saying if you agree or disagree. Leave a like, subscribe, and turn notifications. Hope you guys all have an amazing day. Plus...